Welcome to Patriot Network TV. I'm Hank Giesecke, and we have the pleasure of having General Vallely with us today. He's a retired two-star general. He formed Stand Up for America, which is an organization doing amazing stuff, and we'll talk about that this morning. And he's also co-founder of the Benghazi Citizens Committee. Welcome, General. Good morning.
Well, thank you, Hank. I appreciate it. And the invitation. I remember doing a show with you last year, and hopefully we can do a few more as time goes on.
Absolutely. This morning, I think what we want to do is cover this kind of a revived Benghazi hearing that's going on with Trey Gowdy. One of the headlines says, comes out swinging, which is encouraging to hear. As we are seeing, of course, they suddenly have released something on the order of 15,000 more emails with all kinds of information that we didn't know before. So maybe kind of cover that a little bit in terms of the kind of information that we hope to get out of this that has not been answered before.
I'll gladly do that. As you may recall, about 18 months ago, or a little longer than that perhaps, when they had the initial hearings on Benghazi, when Hillary Clinton, Leon Panetta, and General Dempsey testified at the initial hearings, and she came out with the remark, what difference does it make, now or at this time? And from that, we decided they weren't going to get to the truth. They weren't going to issue subpoenas. So Admiral Lyons, former Commander-in-Chief of Naval Forces in the Pacific, Lieutenant General Tom McInerney, former Vice Chief of Staff of the Air Force, and myself, and Roger Aronoff, who's chairman of Accuracy and Media in Washington, D.C., decided that we better have a press conference at the National Press Club in Washington, and that's what we did, and that's when we officially formed the Benghazi Citizens Commission. And that was to pursue investigations as a standing citizens commission, to interview witnesses and pursue it, and also to press forward with House Speaker Boehner to form a select committee, and we are the ones that recommended Trey Gowdy for that position. And the establishment Republicans and the Democrats in the White House and the State Departments did not want to form that select committee and get to the truth. As we found out later on, they were all in a little bit of collusion together not to get to the truth. So we pressed forward over the last year. We finally got John Boehner to form the select committee and to appoint Trey Gowdy as that chairman. So since that time, we've been pressing forward. We're involved now in a series of articles written by Jerome Corsi, who did Unfit for Command, that brought down John Kerry, as you may remember. And so we're into our fourth article in the last 2 weeks. Fifth article will be coming out later this week. But we're pressing forward and to get to the truth. And we've provided Trey Gowdy and the Select Committee a tremendous amount of background intelligence from our interviews with witnesses on the ground there. So from that, we want to get to the truth because it involves so many things. As you'll see in the next article, my quote today was that several years ago, the White House and State Department, in collusion between Obama and Hillary Clinton, decided that the State Department should take the lead in all international security matters. And, of course, that's what happened with the involvement of diplomats who don't understand military strategy and security and operations because they're not trained in that. They're trained in diplomacy. But since all of that was put under the umbrella of the State Department and really taking the Defense Department and CIA and making them subservient to the State Department, meant that the State Department was going to take the lead in all of those things. And, of course, what we've seen not only in Syria but in Egypt and in Libya, where the administration and State Department basically supporting al-Qaeda forces as well as the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yes. So
as a result of that, it's been a debacle, a fiasco, and we're pressing for Trey Gowdy today to go forward and, if necessary, subpoena and ensure that the following individuals come forth as soon as possible in testimony before the Select Committee. That's Hillary Clinton, Leon Panetta, General Dempsey, General Petraeus, and General Carter Ham. So that's where we are as of today.
Interesting, one of the things that's come out already is that they keep denying the fact that there was any stand-down orders, and yet they've found now, and I suppose they're from these emails maybe that have been released, is two things that happened. One is they refused, meaning the State Department and so forth, refused to convene the Counterterrorism Security Group, and they also refused to activate the State Department Emergency Support Team, which basically was a stand-down. And so, you know, basically
that's absolutely right. And if you read the book 13 Hours by the three gentlemen that survived in the annex, when Ty Woods, as you remember, was killed on the rooftop there in the annex, the first stand-down order came by what we'll call Benghazi Bob. He was the CI station chief there in Benghazi, and when the security elements there at the annex got word that the consulate was under attack and that the ambassador was there, Bob said, no, stay right here. They had 3 vehicles already packed up with arms to go from the annex over to the consulate. And so that was the first stand-down order. And so that will come out in the testimony, hopefully, as well. And then for 13 hours, the traffic going back and forth. And then when the testimony came up that we did not have any forces in the region to effect a rescue operation, that was a lie by Leon Panetta, General Dempsey, that in fact we had elements in Spain, we had elements in Italy, just a little over an hour's flight time. We had special operations forces, we had fleet forces that could have attempted a rescue operation of those individuals, and it was not done. So therefore, the deception and lies of the State Department and others is going to come forth here. And the fact that Obama says, well, we never want to leave anybody behind. That's why Bergdahl and that situation came up, as you know, in the press the last few days. So we're going to get to the bottom of this for the American people, because it's a total fiasco of our federal government now that has really. I've been in the Middle East 5 times in the last 2 years.
Right.
We have no friends. We have no credibility in the leadership of America now.
Well, and
that is absolutely an embarrassment.
Absolutely. And the implications for that as we move out in broader aspects is huge as well. So, well, listen, we really appreciate your input on this thing. Before we leave, give us a little bit of information with regards to Stand Up for America, if you would.
Well, Stand Up America was formed in 2006 by Jerry Mullen and myself. Jerry was the Oscar winner for Schindler's List, also did America with Dinesh D'Souza. And so we formed that really to analyze information that was out there and use the media, TV, radio, events, interviews, so that we could take our analysis of primarily national security issues and bring them forth. So people can find on our website, standupamericaus.org, an update every day of the leading events. And it's amazing what we've been able to do since 2006 to get the word out to the American people and our international fellows and allies that we work with across the country, to include General El-Sisi, President El-Sisi in Egypt, for example.
Good. Well, listen, we really appreciate that, General. We appreciate you being with us today, and we urge people to go to standupforamericaus.org to find out and keep up with what's going on here, both with Benghazi, but certainly these others as well. So, again, we thank you for being with us today, and we'll be back with you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.